Music Buzz Live Radio here on World Viral TV. My name is Moose, and we have got the round table topic here. We've got Kannabis Kitty in the house. We have Adrienne Osbourn from Adrienne in the house, and Tony Mason from Lost Lake Lounge in the house, along with CT and myself. And I think right now we've got a pretty good panel to tackle the topic of the role of marijuana in the music business.
Okay. And
how appropriate is it from different angles, from a fan's angle, from a performer's angle, and where the line needs to be drawn. I've seen people smoking on stage here at Herman's. I know we just did a huge event down utilizing Castleman's this last weekend, and I saw that they have a sign on the stairs going up to the stage that says, "Please do not smoke on stage."
Right.
And I guess we'll start with Tony as a guy running a venue. What are your opinions on that?
I can chime in on this one real well because I actually just did an article with the Westward newspaper, a separate one with Tom Murphy, about the connection of the music industry and the weed industry, and how much right now for the national scale, all these national bands coming through, just about every national band that I know that comes through Denver is so pumped to hit Denver because, oh my God, I can walk into a store and legally buy weed. Mm-hmm. And so that's a little bit off topic of smoking in venues and on stage, but I will say I think that the music industry is booming right now because of the weed industry, because everyone's so excited to come to Denver and they're not from here and they just want to see what it's all about. You no longer have to travel across the world to Amsterdam to go see what's happening. Yeah. You can come to Denver and do it. And as far as smoking in venue goes, I mean, I suppose it's just up to the venue. At my venue, Lost Lake, I definitely allow it. I don't encourage it, so I don't tell people like, oh yeah, feel free to go ahead and smoke up there. But for a lot of our hip-hop shows, we definitely have people sparking up blunts and passing them around through the crowd. I open up the doors, turn on a fan, and I'm okay with it. You know, it keeps the vibe running.
Are you worried at all about any repercussions for that?
I mean, maybe I should be. But no, not really. I mean, our venue is such a small, low-key venue that I really don't foresee, like, cops coming in and getting us in trouble for smoking weed inside the club.
Seems like the East Coast.
And like I said, it's not something that happens all the time. So it happens a few times a month, you know, and it's like the artists that do it know that they can do it, so they do it for their performances. And all the other artists just kind of assume that they can't do it because most venues don't allow it.
Okay. It's a good topic, Tim. Good topic.
Well, you know, I thought we kind of had a panel of experts from all over on that could weigh in. I don't know, Adrienne, what your stance on all of it is, or how much you care to share.
I just don't have that much to share. So my stance on the whole topic is, I have no problem with marijuana, but I don't smoke. I've smoked a couple of times, and I end up not being able to follow my own train of thought from beginning to end. Like, I think I'll have a great idea. I'll kind of sit quietly in the corner for a while, listening to the conversation, trying to snatch a thought out of thin air. And finally I catch one, I'm like, oh, I have something to say. And then I start to talk and it's gone. So
yeah, I've been there before, for sure.
So I've only smoked, 2 or 3 times maybe. So I'm definitely not the expert for this topic.
Okay. Well, and how about you ladies, as far as doing promotions and stuff like that? Is it? I assume people kind of expect it with you guys.
Well, yeah, definitely. I mean, some places more than others, but I think that, for the artists, it's like a connection with their fans and the crowd and everything. So I definitely think it should be allowed in Denver venues for the artists if they want to, know.
Right. Okay.
What do you think, Sky?
I think we should allow it for everyone in the venues, not just.
Well, no, I mean the artists to pass it through, if it's
totally.
that kind of show.
Totally. I mean,
hip hop a lot.
Yeah, a lot of hip hop.
I just, I feel like I have nothing against it, but I feel like the day will come when there's going to be some asshole that's going to lace his joint with something else, and then there's going to be a huge deal because somebody's going to get hospitalized because they're freaking out because they're having a bad trip.
I don't think that happens that much anymore.
I don't think it does, but it will once, and that's going to cause...
Jinx it. Yeah, why you gotta jinx it like that? You take that back.
Tim? Stuff like that is bound to happen all the time where, in Colorado, Denver, a perfect example was right after we got legalized, some guy got high and, I think shot his wife or something like that.
Yeah, I was reading about that in the post today,
and that was, one of the most immediate things where it was, within 60 days of weed becoming legal, some guy gets high who hasn't been high before and shoots his wife. And it was, a typical mom and dad dad, family with kids, like soccer wife.
Yeah, it
kind
was
of
just
thing.
up the street in Observatory Park.
And,
Actually.
so,
God.
yeah, and you know, it's just like, I mean, stuff like that's gonna happen, but it wasn't necessarily because he was high on weed. You know, it's like that could have happened
Right.
from any circumstance of being on any substance at all.
Right.
And I think it's just, of course, once you legalize something like weed, something like that's gonna happen. It's gonna blow up in the media. And same with venues. If venues were to say, okay, yeah, we're gonna make this legal to smoke in our clubs, some crazy shit like that's gonna happen, where all of a sudden someone's gonna lace it, and there's gonna be all this controversy on it. And I think that's just kind of the
or
nature
even
of the
probably
beast.
more likely than the lacing actually happened is going to be the accusation that it happened by somebody that doesn't have a
Yes.
tolerance
Right.
for weed
Oh.
and thought that it was laced with acid or something like that.
I've
I mean,
seen
she
it with
just-
alcohol a million
Yeah.
times. Girls like, somebody drugged me. I'm like, no. Bitch, you just
All
drank
the
way
time.
too much.
Right,
Let's
yeah.
just call it like it is.
That's awesome.
Yeah, in any kind of bar industry, that's just something you're going to have to deal with
Yeah.
from time to time.
You know, with the Hermans, we had Spice One, and we had a cop. We paid a cop to be upstairs. Whatever happened down here was just part of, you know, you book talent, they do what they do. You know, it's show business.
Mhm. I agree. All right. Well, we're going to get some final words from the Cannabis Kitty before you guys take off. If there's anything else you want to say or put out there, or give us your website one more time. I know that's about to launch.
Yeah, it's cannabiskitty.com. Cannabis with a K.
All right.
So it's pretty easy to remember.
Well, we'll look forward to checking that out. When's
Yeah,
it going
on
to
the
be live?
first.
The
On
1st
the
of September.
Yeah.
Yes.
A few more days.
Monday.
Few more
yeah.
days.
Nice.
Let's do
Right
it.
on. All right, well, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to be back talking with Adrienne about her video release this Friday. She's been very patient, and we are going to let her do her spiel here in just a few minutes. Stick around on World Viral TV.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Very, very, very
Yes.
much. Really
Thank you guys
appreciate
for coming down. It's always nice to have you.
It was great coming again.